management, or sponsors. AMP2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Well, hi, everyone. Good evening. This is Denise Casal, and welcome to Tell Us Your Biz show. Today you have me. You have good old me, the name that we're trying to figure out what we're going to name this show. So we're going to be calling out and asking to see what you think. We could call it the Lady D Show, or we can call it the Power D Show. So I'm going to put that out there right from the beginning, because whatever we come up with today is what we're going to run with. So how is everyone? This is Monday. Yes, Meditation Monday, Mental Monday. I don't know, your call, whatever you want to do. But I'm here to talk about your business, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, because I want to hear from you after you know a little bit about me, and we can connect. So who am I? Denise, well, she's in her 50s. Yep. And she is a divorced individual of 30 years of marriage, Cuban Puerto Rican for y'all folks out there. I speak Spanglish. I'm also on several other shows. My background is financials. Been in the financial industry for at least a good 27 years. I have an adopted daughter. I am I like to say a Mimi. For those of you who know what that means, that is a grandmother. I don't go out wanting to share that very loudly, but that's what I am, a Mimi. So I want to hear from other Mimis out there. I want to see what you're up to. And so what are we going to be talking about today? Well, once again, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, because with my life experience, I really, really think that we can really have some great dialogue with everyone out there. And hopefully we can help each other, help you figure out solutions. Maybe even if you want to go ahead and complain, I'm a good listener, and we'll see if we can find resolution. And along the way, we'll talk about different things of what today represents, what happened 75 years ago, 50 years, 60 years ago, what happened today, all kinds of crazy things in our communities. So let's start off with a question out there. Do I have anyone that wants to dial in and ask a question so far? Go right ahead. The number for you to reach me out here is 888-565-1470. I want to hear your business. It could be personal, it could be your regular business, but I want to hear from you. So let's start off with something that's special to me. That would be health. Yeah, at this age of the game, anything that we need to do to come up with staying healthy is critical. Yes, I've gone through my changes, and we know what that means. That's menopause. That's a big hot topic, isn't it? There's chuckling going on in the studio here. Yeah, menopause. Yeah. So I know exactly what that's all about. Oh, yes. And of course, women go through the menopause, and men go through menopause. Menopause. Thank you for the correction. Yeah, they all go through it too. But from a female standpoint, I get the pain, I get the strain, I get the swelling, I get the brain fog, and I remember everything else that comes with it. So there are a couple of life hacks that we can talk about, how I managed through it. I chose a holistic way. I didn't go on doing the pellets or anything like that. But from the menopause standpoint, I really want to hear a little bit about what you're doing and what your doctor is suggesting, and any hacks that you may have for those hot flashes. Suffer in silence. No. Actually, I think it was Whoopi Goldberg that once said, we never talked a word about the M word. And then finally, she's the one that opened up the entire airways and said, I'm just going to put it out there. It's called menopause. So it's just another way of saying I've arrived. That's about it. I've arrived. And so you know what? I often say, I don't know, if you're going to fight with a person, that you don't want to get in a fight with a woman that's in menopause. That's for sure, because that'll take you to another level. Yeah, that can be very ugly, and it doesn't even have to be physical. It'll just blow your mind away with what comes out of that person's mouth. So what we have now from the menopause standpoint, how can we help manage all that? I really have to tell you, one of the things that managed and worked really, really well for me is managing your menopause through your blood type. That was really something that I learned to really figure out what was it that my blood was accustomed to, what can help me manage the night flashes. And the unforsaken, what we like to call the power surges that can happen in the middle of the night, which is what I like to call, or you can have your own personal summer. We actually have different names for them, don't we? So how do we manage through that? Well, one thing is I know for sure is what you're eating. I used to really monitor what I eat. If I had sugar late at night or if it was red wine, things of that nature, it really sent me in another direction. And it was just like a bath every night. It was just really tough. So that's something that you should pay attention to. Keep a diary. I don't know, but just kind of stay tuned to what it is that you're eating so that you can actually figure out if that's triggering your personal summers in the middle of the night or even during the day for that matter. You know, there are other things that come with that. You know, you really have to be very careful what you're eating and sustaining your bone density. You know, you really have to be very careful with that. Getting your ultimate amounts of vitamin D that you can get. I want to hear from you. How are you doing out there? Are you just in menopause? How do you know if you're in menopause? Give me a call. Let's see if you can figure out that you are and what we can do to help you get through it. And there are so many other things that go on that are personally very intimate, if you would, about going through menopause and what that's all about when you're in a relationship or with your spouse, whatever it is that gets you going. But it could be something that certainly is an uncomfortable experience, but you can push through it. I will say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So, oh, was that too much on the air here? I'm not sure. Okay. I didn't get yelled at. That's good. So, if you want to reach out to me, I want to hear from you. The number 888-565-1470. And let's go and tell me your business about something like that. Even if you're in the business of helping medicinally someone manage, you know, if you're in the office and you have a wellness center, I want to hear from you. How do you help your patients get through their menopause? And for the menopause, I know there's a lot of people out there that are helping you with your testosterones and all that kind of stuff. So we can talk about that too. That's a whole nother discussion, isn't that?
Why'd you go the health route instead of the traditional medical route?
So I chose the health route. Well, the holistic approach I chose only because I did a lot of research. And cancer runs in my family. I am a cancer survivor. And this is, by the way, you know, Cancer Month. Everyone, please make sure you go for your mammograms, your checkups. Don't let it go. You need to set your benchmarks. Make sure you have your markers made. Very, very important. Thank you for bringing that up. For all, and this goes for men too. Don't think you're free and clear. You all have to get yourselves checked, because if you don't, you're missing an opportunity for coming in and getting it at an early stage. So when I was diagnosed, I went through the whole process, which just was outrageous altogether. Total denial. Didn't carry the BRCA gene. And I chose to go the route of getting a double mastectomy, which was something that inspired me because of Angelina Jolie. She had done the same thing, and I had asked if we can do that. And interestingly enough, I managed right through it, and the healing was okay. You know, I got through it, but one thing they say is to go on the medicine for 5 years. And I thought hard and heavy about it, and I chose I'm not going to do it. I went the holistic route, and here I am 8 years later, and I'm still living and breathing. My feet hit the ground above. So it's a good thing better than under. So I went and did a lot of homework, though. I was very, very diligent on what I could do to help me and anything that I could. And I did know what my numbers were. I knew my percentages of what the return could be and where if it were to return. So it was minimal. So I went with the numbers, being a numbers person. My financial background plays a lot into this, figuring out what the numbers are. So I chose to go that way. I just didn't want to put that in my body. So and I think it helped. I mean, it really did. I suffered more than I did because I had to push through a lot more different things. You know, when you go on the hormones, it helps manage your hot flashes and the bone density, all of the other stuff. And I had to deal with that on my own. But there are things you can do constantly. But if your doctor says you must, because the percentage is saying it's calling for it, I'm not telling you not to, but you have to listen to your doctors, and then you make your best educated decision.
What's it like to be a woman in the finance field?
Oh, wow. Woman in the finance field. So I go way back. I'm in it for about 27 years. And I will tell you that even to today, it's still an uphill battle. Women in the financial arena, for where I was in the financial world, it's still, I'm sorry to say, and it's very hardcore, it's still a good old boys club. It really is. When you're dealing with having to, back in the day, you had to dress like you were in a suit. That's back in the 80s. I was in the 80s. I worked in Manhattan, and we all had to look like a man. You know, femininity was really not a choice in the boardroom, so you just basically had to show up and be like one of the guys. But still, all in all, that was prejudice straight through. I mean, it was just something you had to deal with on a constant basis, but you had to have tools in the toolbox and how to manage through that. So having a sense of humor was huge. You really had to overcome and just go forth with a sense of humor. But as time passed, the balance has really gotten much better, but we're still not at par with what men are paid versus what women are paid. In the financial industry itself, and specifically if you're in wealth management or anything in the management world of finance, we're still maybe at 15% most of the market when you look at the financial industry of the amount of women that are there. Now break that down even further, where now who are the women that are in leadership, and then if you put that even further, those that are of ethnic backgrounds, the numbers just get smaller and smaller and smaller. So we have our work cut out for us. We really do. I think that we have a lot of work to do. And for those of you that are out there and face these issues every day, that balance still is not where it needs to be. Speak your mind. Be professional about it. By the way, being professional, sometimes that can go off as a bitch, but you're just really delivering what you need to say. Don't sit down and take it. Deliver it in a very proper manner, professional, and state your case.
Well, what's it like to be a woman in business to actually say that and be firm in how you say it versus people going, oh, she's witching?
Well, yeah, it's a good balance. I think it's you're really choosing the right words and what you need to express. Putting it really out there. You can get your HR involved in the conversation. Maybe go to your HR department and say, this is how I'm feeling. What can I do? So they can coach you through the process and everyone gets their hand. This isn't a big corporate world. This is how it would be managed. But in essence, I think if you're going to be combative, that's not the approach. And not everyone is as educated. If you're going to say this to someone else, that, hey, I don't really like the way you managed me or the way you spoke to me, or I felt that you were not giving me enough projects or whatever the case is, and you're giving it to someone else of male stance. So I want to have that challenge. Approach it in a positive outlook. I think that if you can say that I want to have that challenge, give me an opportunity, and believe it or not, it's very well known, women work harder. It's just because we have more to prove. We have a lot more, and I always say, if you want to get a job done, find the busiest person on the floor, and most likely it would be a woman. Just saying. So if anyone has any opinions about that, please dial in. I want to hear from you. The number is 888-565-1470. I want to hear from you. All right. So again, here we are. You got me, Denise. We're still doing a tally here. I want to know, is it the Lady D show, or are we going with the Power D show? So we can go either way with this. But the goal of our show right now with me is that we want to take a woman's voice, and whether anything we can do is make it better for you, empower you, show you, talk about it, talk about things that we don't talk about all the time. I always say, if we sat at a bar with another woman, God knows what kind of comes out of our mouth and what we would talk about. I would love to do that with you. Let's make believe we're there having a cocktail and we want to talk about anything. I don't care if it's dating. I don't care if it's about a relationship, issues with kids in school and they're studying and why they're not studying. My daughter, she's 25 now, and again, remember, Mimi, what do you relate to, Mimi or grandma, or for that matter, as we say in Spanish, abuela? I want to hear from you with respect to how are you managing kids right now? They're home, they're not home, homeschool. I tell you, if I had a homeschool, I would have committed suicide. If I had a homeschool, it would have just been like, you're on your own. I won't be able to take it. It's just not having it. But, there's a lot of controversy going on right now out there with the kids, mask, no mask. Let's not get into that. But the point is that I get you when you're saying that your kids are tough students. That's a heartache. I totally get that. It was an uphill battle the whole time. And I feel for you because it's not easy today, especially if they're being homeschooled. And the way we learn things is not how they're learning things today. I can't even do math the same way they do math. And if I teach them how to do math the way I know how, which is very simple, I get yelled at. So I said, you're on your own. Or I have to go to school all over again. I'm not having that. It's crazy, but you got to do what you have to educate our kids because why they are the one thing that will make the difference, and we have to nurture them and make sure that they're growing to contribute to society. You got to let these kids grow up to know that that is their responsibility. Being good people, be nice, or maybe as they say, calling me D-nice, we want to be nice. Exactly. I don't know. Do we go with the D-nice show? All right. Yes, it's from the SNL kid. I know. I've heard it. Let's talk about food. So yes, I tend to look like I may not eat much, but I do. I love to eat. I'm a little picky. It's true. I am. But food and I love to experience new venues. I want to experience ambiance. As they say, I like to eat ambiance. That makes the whole feeling of my experience in dining. So if you are in a business, I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your ambiance. How did you come across building an ambiance? Do you want me to come out and see you? I'll sit there and tell you what I think about the ambiance. Let's see what we have going on and what's the trend. A lot of trends going on in foods right now.
Ambiance as important as the taste of the food.
Oh, wow. I think it's a perfect combo. You know, I mean, so yeah, if you can go to a dive, sometimes that food is to die for. It's awesome. So that is a good point. Sometimes those drive-by diners and the hole in the walls have the best food. But the ambiance, you know, well, there's something to be said about the holes in the wall maybe and what could be possibly going on in that kitchen, you know. But at the end of the day, it's really good, wholesome food. But what a perfect combo when you have great ambiance around you and the food. I want to hear from you. What would people, what's the trends these days? Are you going exotic? Are you going traditional? Are you going out? Are you even going out and eating? I love to go out to eat, but I do like a home-cooked meal. And the question is, do I cook? I can cook. I just had a huge kitchen put in the house and outdoor, and I think I've used it twice. I can cook.
Or does he cook?
Oh, no, I cook. Well, we don't know who cooks first yet. It's still new. Yes, it's all still new. Relationships. Oh, my goodness. That's a whole big conversation. So, you know, we're going to go to a commercial break, and then we'll come back and let's see if we can catch some phone calls or hear from you. Again, the number 888-565-1470.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Along the sun-drenched beaches of Boca Raton lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring rising stars and their fantastic work into the spotlight. From music to art, we have the tools and the talent you need to help you reach the next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new scoring platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. We have the ability to highlight music according to what the eye sees on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
You are listening to Tell Us Your Business, where our invited guests share all the knowledge of their business and how important it is what they do in our community. If you want to be part of the conversation, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and tell us what's on your mind. Now, back to Tell Us Your Business.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to Tell Us Your Business. This is Denise, your host, and we're putting a name together for this show, so I want to hear from you. The debate over, is it the Lady D Show or the Power D Show, or for that matter, let's go with the Denise Show. I don't know, but I want to hear from you because I'm thinking that there is a lot of legs that we can run with, and hearing more from you in the crowd. There are so many voices and words that I want to share with everybody. I really want to hear the truth. I want to talk about it. I'm a real person. I'm a mom, I'm an aunt, I'm a sister, a daughter, I'm everything. And I'm not high maintenance, by the way. That's one thing I'm not. People will think that, but I'm not high maintenance. I'm basic, exactly. I'm basic. Yeah, we'll have to look up the definition of what that is. But anyway, I want to end something here, unless some phone calls or something wants to be asked of me. But the most important thing I want to drive today is, of course, this is Breasttober month. This is October, a month that we recognize breast cancer awareness. And I've been on the committee for the Breast Cancer Society for quite some time, and always have participated in different types of venues where, we can raise awareness, raise dollars for the purpose of research, and so much that can be done. But I want to let you know that as a cancer survivor personally, you can overcome. Early detection is the key. And managing, and not just getting one opinion. Go for two opinions, honestly. And, whether it's a holistic approach or not, I will tell you that listen to your doctors, ask questions, ask a lot of questions, do your research. You are your own advocate. You'd be surprised. And, you can be just a number, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. It's your body. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And I know it's very difficult at that time. It's like you can look at whoever is with you, like, what did they say? Do you need translation? Because there's so much information coming your way. So with that, I want to make sure everyone that during this month that you get your mammograms, you get checked again, get your BRCA test if you need to. There's so much new information out there. So I want to hear from anyone that has, on our next show, if we want to talk a little bit more about breast cancer awareness. I've had several friends diagnosed in the last week. But the key is early detection. It really is. And you're a warrior. At the end of the day, you become part of the tribe. You are a warrior. You will survive. And you believe it or not, you're stronger than the rest. When you hear those words, yeah, you melt. But somewhere, shape, or form, I don't know where it comes from, but there is a strength that surfaces. It really is. So don't be afraid if you hear those words. And if you have someone that knows it's going through it, they just need to know you're there. Can I drive you? Can I bring you some food? What can I do for you? I'm thinking about you. That's good enough. So I'm really excited. I want to be doing this again. I really enjoyed this. The great questions. We can dive some more into different things. So once again, everyone, thank you so much. And hope to hear from you soon. So we'll see. What's the name? Lady D Show? Or are we closing with the Power D? Have a great night, everyone.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.